Uh, where on earth do we start? Good evening, everyone. So I've had all day to think about this, as you know, many of you have been watching probably the rolling live coverage, as I have as well, and this has been a very, very difficult decision as to what to do. Um, Alan summed it up, I think, in probably the best possible way, in only the way that Alan could ever do, Mr. Alan Jackson, and he said, either way, the quiz started as a bit of normality in chaotic times. So you could say going ahead tonight is doing exactly that again. Now, I have just spent the last 5 minutes before pushing the go live button going through everything, through all your Twitter, through all your Facebook, for everything, and there it is polarized opinion, and I understand that. But he's right. This started as a way to bring, well, it started as a way to bring Darwin community together and evolved into what it has become. And if people don't want to take part tonight, that is completely fine. I understand that. People are upset about the quiz going on tonight. I completely understand that as well. But what I will say is that there are people out there, not just people who are on their own. There are families, there are everyone who are going to grieve. And this is a situation that none of us have ever had to deal with in our lifetimes. Now, what would I prefer right now? I would prefer to be sat the other side of the camera with you guys, with my family, sat going through, as I have been all day, trying to prepare for a moment like this. And the announcement coming at 6:30 is, in the way that it will shock everyone. So for me, it's the right thing to do. And I understand where people are going to come from on that. Out of complete and utter respect, I'm not going through shout outs. I'm not going to, individually pick people out. And I'm going to keep this as calm as possible. You may have already seen that I've pulled out the pre-roll. And when it comes to me finishing, the quiz is going to be probably a lot quicker this evening. Because I'm not going to put the stuff that I normally put on in the breaks. We had some announcements ourselves to make tonight, and I'm pulling all of that. Because tonight, it's not about me. It's not about views or anything that I've just seen someone comment on social media. It's not about that at all. It's about having something that for the last 2.5 years has been here on a Thursday night, no matter what, to support people and to be there as part of that community. So if you're here with us and you want to play tonight, absolutely. As always, 50 questions. It's what you've come to expect. Nothing will change with that. The only thing that will change is there won't be the breaks. I'll sit and just have a chat in the breaks. That's all I can say, really. You've got about 11 and a bit minutes time to before we do start. And I understand it's polarized opinions. I really do. I've just read through every comment on Facebook. I've read through every comment on Twitter. The only place I've not been yet is Instagram, but I needed to go live. So if you're joining us this evening, thank you. Let's come together and grieve in the right way. In terms of Saturday's quiz, at the moment, I don't know. In terms of future quizzes coming up, I don't know. Let's wait and see how things look. And if the quiz is on a day where it's the funeral, then I will probably not have the quiz on that night. But for now, I am, and then someone put this quite right on Twitter, that there behind me, right? That was given to me by Prince William, December. That was given to me by Prince William in December. It was signed off by Her Majesty. I'm going to find it actually, because it might help me just compose for 30 seconds and try and be a bit more coherent. Oh, where are we? There it is. I don't know who it was who said it, because I've just got people who were liking it, but it says, our Queen would have wanted it to go on, especially as you.
Okay. Stack a breather.
So yeah, especially as you are one of hers, which is true. So that is why I'm here tonight. for you, the community, everyone. So I'm going to take Sarah's advice. I'm just going to take 30 seconds to just compose myself. But that's why we're here. I'm not here for me, because if I was here for me, I wouldn't be here. I'm here for this wider community that for the last 2.5 years has looked to me to support, and that is why I'm here again. We are going through a national tragedy that we've lost, and that is why I'm here. Okay, I'm just going to take 30 seconds, sort myself out, and I will be back. Well, give me about 30 seconds, but I'll be back. You'll just see this lovely scene behind me, but I'll be back. Okay. Okay, right. Where was I? Right, so you've got, let me get, now I'm all right. I'm back. About 12 minutes on my clock. Now there's 50 questions tonight, as always. Now I wrote these a couple of days ago, and I know because I kind of saw, sounds awful, but I could kind of see this coming. You kind of, when you spend a lot of time, reading papers and looking at the media and stuff like that, I could kind of gauge the mood. Things like, as it's well known in the media now, London Bridge is down. That was trending on Twitter in the early hours of the morning and things like that. So I could kind of see it, and then I've been watching the rolling news coverage, the same as you guys have as well. Today, and when I'm finished tonight, I will be straight back on, and I will be, I'll be watching it again later on with everybody else. So, but yeah, so let's quiz. Let's do what I do best, which is ask quiz questions. Sometimes they're right answers, sometimes they're not. But hey ho, that's what I've done for 2.5 years, for all of you guys, and for those who are with us, thank you. For those of you who are not, I completely understand and completely get it. So, yeah, I can't even remember what I've got. Do you know what? I think the quiz isn't going to. You're not going to like one of the rounds. So for those of you who aren't playing tonight, you're going to absolutely. You're not going to like one of the rounds tonight, and you're also not going to like your connection round. I'll be honest as well. So yeah, so it's but it's what you've come to know. It's 50 questions. It's a quiz. But like I say, I didn't want to go through shout outs. I didn't want to go through anything along those lines. I didn't want to, it's like I say, it's not about me. It's not about, it's, all of our thoughts. Beck and I were talking about this a little while ago. All of our thoughts are with the royal family, this evening. And do you know what? It's one of those. Oh, there goes my voice again. It's one of those things you never really know how you're going to cope with it. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any sense to anyone, because I think we've all known that this day was going to come. We've all known it. Her Majesty has been absolutely incredible. She's been, and if you like the royal family or you don't like the royal family, that's your own opinions. And it's that sort of, we knew this day would happen, and I've always thought about, how would you react when it happens? How would you react to the news? And it's quite hard. I think 2.5 years ago, I probably would have reacted if I hadn't been awarded that, because I feel an affiliation and an affinity. I don't even know the word. An affinity. That's the word I'm looking for. To the royal family, and it's incredible. It's yeah. So yeah, you never know how you're going to cope, how you're going to react, how this news is going to be. So yeah, so I've just caught that. I think I know who it is as well in the YouTube live chat as well. Who says Liz, she'll be up there with a pen and paper, quite possibly. Who knows? Who knows what anyone is doing? So, but yeah, what we got? 4.5 minutes, and I will start the first question. I may, and this is just composure, etc. I may not have my camera on while the questions are on. You won't get probably as much of the usual malarkey that you get out of me as we go on. I know Discord's going absolutely incredible. And Bex just messaged me and just said the Facebook live chat is going absolutely bonkers. So just thank you for all the comments and stuff. As I said, if you are just joining us, the reason I've gone ahead is because of the last 2.5 years we've been here. You know, I mean, you know, just forget, take out the, you know, the sort of, you know, today we've been here for, you know, some of your own grieving, your own births and marriages, everything. We've been here for it, and that's what you do as a community. And just because it's sat here on YouTube doesn't mean I can't feel what is coming through from you guys. So that's why I'm here. It's the hardest thing I had to do, you know, because I knew it was going to polarize opinion. Absolutely knew it. I could see it was going to happen, but I'm here, and you know, we're here for you all to come together. That's the definition of a community. I had to put this into something a few weeks ago. I was asked what the definition of a community is, and a community is somewhere that everyone comes together, everyone unites, and you come, and the nation and the world is going to come together over the next 10 days. Everyone is going to come together and grieve in their own personal way, but as a community. You'll do it in your own communities, you'll do it in your own streets, you'll do it in your own areas, and that is the definition of a community. And just because this sits online doesn't mean that it can't still be a community. And that is why I am here for you this evening. That is why it is going ahead, and that is why, you know, it is here. I'm also, and not the right time to joke, but I'm very, very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed in myself, because not only do I not have a black tie, because I was going to go white shirt, black tie. I don't even have a black shirt, and I know it looks like it's a black shirt, but it's not. It's just slightly, it's dark. I know that's annoyed me in my head. And I've been to many funerals, so I don't even know why I haven't got a black tie. What tie have I worn at funerals? So, but yeah, that's just a random thing for that. I'm inclined to. What have you got? A minute and a bit. Right. I'm going to give you another minute on YouTube live chat. So on the YouTube live chat, I'm going to give you one more minute. And then I'm going to switch the YouTube live chat off, just so you're all aware. Because it's, you know, I've always got it off during the quiz, and I just don't want to. I don't want the distraction, because I'm trying to hold it together as much as I can. So I'm going to switch the YouTube live chat off in about 45 seconds. So if there's anything you want to put into the live chat now on YouTube, do it now. Now is your moment, basically, before I switch it off. Ah, dear. My phone is going bonkers as well. I can't see it out of the corner of my eyes. I've just got, for friends of mine who are watching, I am just all I'm doing is I've only got Beck open just in case there's anything I need to know. But yeah, so if you are joining us now and you're wondering why the quiz is on, the quiz is here because it is a community. It is for the community, and people need something. People will always need something. In terms of going, like I said, I know it looks like I'm hot. In terms of Saturdays, I'll make a decision. I don't know. This will also come down to how I feel. Hopefully you will all understand that if I decide that I don't do Saturdays. But I've been here for 2.5 years on a Thursday night. I needed to be here for you guys. I've pushed the go live button on, and by the way, the quiz jockey girls as well are also in the background. They will also be marking on quiz jockey as well. I've got them here. You know, I put it out to them and said it is entirely up to you. If you do not feel up to it, it is entirely up to you, and they are there in the background with it now. Right, let me ping this across, and wow, so it is Thursday the 8th of September. It is a very, very incredibly hard day for everyone, with the news that we were not expecting to be hearing. But let's do this. We've got 50 questions ahead of us for you. He's probably going to finish and it's going to go a lot quicker than normal, but here we go. So we'll start, as we always do then, with an entertainment round. I'm going to drop my camera off. Bear with me one sec. Let me just... I'm just going to... I am still here. I'm in the background. I'm just going to take myself off screen for a bit. But let's kick it off then. This evening, entertainment, question number 1. Name the film for number 1. Number 2, name the TV show from this picture. So name the TV show from this picture for number 2. Number 3, which singer has recently announced that they are releasing their first dedicated Christmas album for over 19 years in December? So which singer has recently announced they are releasing their first dedicated Christmas album for over 19 years in December? Number 4, which actor links the characters Severus Snape, Hans Gruber, and the Sheriff of Nottingham? So which actor links the characters Severus Snape, Hans Gruber, and the Sheriff of Nottingham? Number 5, which cartoon character lived in a post box near 221B Baker Street? It's not a post box, it's a pillar box. That's the same thing though, isn't it? Which cartoon character lived in a post box or pillar box near 221B Baker Street? Number 6, name the song Now Here You Go Again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? So name the song Now Here You Go Again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? Number 7, complete the 90s romantic comedy starring Brad Pitt. It's called Meet Joe What? Complete the 90s romantic comedy starring Brad Pitt. It was called Meet Joe What? Number 8, name the character pictured here. So name the character pictured here for number 8. Sorry, I left myself on mute. Number 9, which group had hits with Parallel Lines, Eat to the Beat, Auto American, and No Exit? So which group had hits with Parallel Lines, Eat to the Beat, Auto American, and No Exit? So who is this for number 10? Right, round 2 then. A bit of food and drink for you. As I always say, I always write a food and drink round when I'm hungry. So that's why you've got this tonight. Number 1. In Indian cooking, ghee is clarified what? So in Indian cooking, ghee is clarified what? Number 2, kippers is a whole what? So kippers is a whole what? Number 3, Dijon mustard originates from which country? So Dijon mustard originates from which country? Number 4, complete the advertising slogan. Pick up a what? Let's complete the advertising slogan. Pick up a what? Number 5, served with haggis. Start again. Served with haggis. Neeps and tatties is mashed potato and which other ingredient? Served with haggis, neeps and tatties is mashed potato and which other ingredient? Question 6. Crushed capers, mayonnaise and onions make up which sauce? So crushed capers, mayonnaise and onions make up which sauce? Question 7. Lager and cider combined is better known by which name? Number 8. Triple sec liqueur is flavoured with which fruit? So triple sec liqueur is flavoured with which fruit? Number 9. Which country's wine region does Tempranillo come from? So which country's wine region does Tempranillo come from? And finally, for number 10, what's the worst that can happen was the advertising slogan for which drink? So what's the worst that can happen was the advertising slogan for which drink? Your final round then before we just take a short break, but like I said, I'll explain what's going to happen in the break in just a minute. So I put this round together, cryptic football stadiums tonight. So the original plan with this was, so basically it's what it says on the tin. People were asking for a sports round, but I always try to make the quizzes open and accessible for everyone. Everyone likes sport. So just basically name the football grounds from these cryptic clues that I'm about to give you. Starting with number 1. Something Park, a house that people can rent for holidays, typically in Southern Europe. So Something Park, a house that people can rent for holidays, typically in Southern Europe. Number 2, the Battle of 1066, not the Hastings one, between King Harold and King Harold, that now lends its name to a stadium in London. So the Battle of 1066, not the Hastings one, between King Harold and King Harold, that now lends its name to a stadium in London. Number 3, start again. This stadium so named because it sits on the banks of water. Remember, these are all cryptic clues. Just basically come up with an answer from the cryptic clue. Number 4, a wild animal's home, but no wild animals found in this London stadium. So a wild animal's home, but no wild animals found in this London stadium. Number 5, to hit big runs in cricket, you need to clear the what? So to hit big runs in cricket, you need to clear the what? Number 6, this stadium's name invokes a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction from someone's achievements. Number 7, the city that never sleeps lends its name to this stadium. So the city that never sleeps lends its name to this stadium. Number 8, this stadium's name sits between 5 fields and 7 fields. So this stadium's name sits between 5 fields and 7 fields. Number 9, this stadium was originally named after 1,000 years. No, it's not 1,000 years. Is it 1,000 years? 100 years. 100 years. It's not 1,000 years. Ignore that. It's 100 years. But this stadium was originally named after 100 years before gaining a sponsor. Finally, number 10, this Edinburgh Stadium is named after a religious weekend-long festival. So this Edinburgh Stadium is named after a religious weekend-long festival. It's not festival. I've really not done this right. Right, so that is all of your... Hello.
Hello.
Hello, night.
Night.
Oh, nicely.
Say nicely. Take it out nicely. Don't climb up.
Good night.
Cool. Yeah, so that's... let me just push the button in case you need to recap. Let me push push the button to recap if you want those, and we'll put those up if you need to go through any of those again. That one there, and that one there, and then publish. Now, normally at this point, what I do is I say I'll be back in 7 minutes, and I put all of the adverts and stuff up on screen. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm not putting the adverts. I'm not putting the music up. I'm not doing any of that kind of thing, because I don't feel it's right, to be honest. That's the way I've decided I want to do this evening. So time is there, about 7 minutes before the train goes past, about 7.5 minutes, and then we'll go through the answers. But yeah, I'm not breaking into adverts and stuff like that. It's just not right, to be perfectly honest. Talk amongst yourselves for 6 minutes. The questions will be up on the website if you need them now. Take a breather, take 5 minutes, whatever you need to do, and then we'll go through the answers shortly. Like I say, it's not the quiz is going to be quite quick tonight. It's not going to be, because normally I'd take 7 minutes, come back, have a chat with you all about stuff, and I'll be honest, I'm running out of words a little bit at the moment. Things to say. I probably shouldn't have had some of Twitter and stuff open in the break during that, because I was reading some of those while I was asking the questions in your first 30 questions. So I've turned it off now for now. It's and by the way, just to clarify, it's not 1,000 years, it's 100 years. It's 100 years. I don't know why I've put it's me. I don't know why I put 1,000 years. Extra zero slips on there by mistake. It's 100 years. 1,000 years wouldn't make sense. Hang on, let me just double check, because one of the quiz jockey graders has just said oh, I am right. It is 1,000 years. Sorry, I'm confusing everyone and myself, which isn't difficult. It is 1,000 years. Thank you, Susan, or Susan. Susan's come through and reminded me. No, it is 1,000 years. 1,000 years. I'm just going to double check one. Yes, I am right. Yeah, cool. So I thought I was right, but then I'm starting to. Yeah, it is 1,000 years. About 4 minutes, and I'll give you the answers. You're kind of getting a bit of an insight into what I normally do when you've got the adverts and everything on. I kind of just sit here. I might talk to the quiz jockey graders. I might have a quick look at what's going on. But I don't really want to put. Normally, I'll have a flick through news and stuff, but I don't really want to put that on at the minute while I'm doing the quiz. I'll catch up with everything and where we're up to afterwards. But yeah, so this is kind of what I normally do. I don't really move from here. I sit here, talk to myself, talk to the quiz jockey graders. So about 3.5 minutes, and I'm going to go 3.5 minutes. I'm going to, when the timer runs out, I'm going to go straight into the answers, just so you all know as well. Am I massively out of sync audio to video? Shouldn't be. I don't know why. No settings have changed, but I'll have a look. So 3 minutes, and I'll give you the answers. I'm just going to nip off screen for 1 sec. If you were with us throughout the Guinness World Record attempts, you'll know exactly what I was doing just then. But if you weren't, then yeah, that's fine. A lot of you are saying there's a 2 or 3 second delay, so I've just tweaked. I don't know why there should be that long of a delay, but I've just tweaked the setting I've got, so hopefully that makes it a bit better for you. Or as Simon said, refresh the page. Right, 2 minutes to go. Get your answers written down. If you're playing with people, swap your answer sheets, etc. Start doing that, because whereas, like say, normally you get to the break and it goes straight into. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, I think I put it more out of sync. Let me put it back to the original setting. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, so basically get your answers. So normally, like I say, the break finishes 7 minutes. I'll talk about something that's going on, and then we'll go into the answers. But I'm not, for obvious reasons tonight. I'm just going to go straight into the answers. In just when that countdown timer finishes, I'm going straight into the answers. So. Okay, so 30 seconds and then we'll go straight across into the answers. So if you're playing on Quiz Jockey, now is the time, because there's a 20-second delay on it. Now is the time to make sure your answers are locked in. If you're playing on Quiz Jockey, if you're pen and paper, 20 seconds, swap your answer sheets over, and let's find out how you did for the first part of the quiz. Three, two, one. Okay, so let's go straight into then your answers. Entertainment round then for you. Number one. Name the film that was Aladdin. Number two, name the TV show that was Nightmare. Yeah, so 80s, 90s TV show, kids TV show. Number three, which singer has recently announced they are releasing their first dedicated Christmas album for over 19 years in December? It's Cliff Richard. He's releasing his first Christmas album for a while. Number four, which actor links the characters Severus Snape, Hans Gruber, and the Sheriff of Nottingham? It's Alan Rickman. Number five, which cartoon character lived in a postbox or pillar box near 221B Baker Street? It was Danger Mouse. Number six, name the song Now Here You Go Again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It is Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Number seven, complete the 90s romantic comedy starring Brad Pitt. It was called Meet Joe Black. Number eight, name the character that is Yogi Bear. Number nine, which group had hits with Parallel Lines, Eat to the Beat, Auto American, and No Exit? It was Blondie. And number 10, who is this? That was Judy Garland. Your food and drink answers then. Number one, in Indian cooking, ghee is clarified butter. Number two, kippers is a whole herring. Number three, Dijon mustard originates from which country? It's France. Sorry, it wouldn't change. Number four, complete the advertising slogan. It was pick up a penguin. Number five, served with haggis, neeps and tatties is mashed potato and turnips. Unless there might be some regional variation, because I'm seeing a lot of people going with Swede, but that's what came up earlier. Number six, crushed capers, mayonnaise and onions make up tartar sauce. Number seven, lager and cider combined is better known by which name? It's snakebite. Number eight, triple sec liqueur is flavoured with which fruit? It is orange. Number 9, which country's wine region does Tempranillo come from? It's Spain. And finally, number 10, what's the worst that can happen was the advertising slogan for Dr. Pepper. Cryptic football stadiums answers then. Number 1, that is Villa Park, a house that people can rent for holidays, typically in southern Europe, so Villa Park. Number 2, the Battle of 1066 between King Harold and King Harold that now lends its name to a stadium in London is Stamford Bridge. Number 3, this stadium's so named because it sits on the banks of water. It's the Riverside Stadium up there in Middlesbrough. Number 4, a wild animal's home, but no wild animals found in this London stadium is called the Den. Number 5, to hit big runs in cricket, you need to clear the boundary. So it's Boundary Park. If you've just put boundary, it's fine. I'll give you that because obviously boundary was the word I was looking for. But Boundary Park's the name of the stadium. Number 6. This stadium's name invokes a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction from someone's achievements. It's Pride, as in Pride Park, Derby Football Ground. And thank you for that on screen. Number 7, the city that never sleeps lends its name to this stadium. It's the New York Stadium. So New York. Again, if you've just put New York, you can have the point for it. Number 8, this stadium's name sits between 5 fields and 7 fields. It's Sixfield Stadium, which I think is it's Rotherham's stadium, that one. Number 9, this stadium got this completely wrong. This stadium was originally named after 1,000 years before gaining a sponsor. It's the Millennium Stadium. So for those of you who are on mute, you didn't get confused. And finally, number 10, this Edinburgh Stadium is named after a religious weekend-long festival. It's not a festival, and I apologise if I've offended your religion by calling it a festival, but it's Easter Road. Okay, so if you want to tot your scores up so far, 30 points. You don't feel you have to share them tonight for obvious reasons. You know, do not feel like you have to, you know, you need to share your scores. It's not about that tonight. It really isn't. You know, I don't think there's any, you know, don't feel the need to, you know, to put them out there. Don't worry at all with that. But yeah, if you want to, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to stop people from doing it, but yeah, I think this, you know, don't worry about your scores or what have you this evening. But yeah, tot those up. Gonna pretty much go straight into your connections round in just a second. Someone's just put something into our Discord server asking if I could do a Queen themed quiz soon. I've already got plans for that, but I just want to, let's just get over the initial shock of, you know, the announcement today and what's happened, and then I will probably, as a one-off, which I've not done for a long time, well, since, you know, sort of 2020, I'll probably do a standalone Her Majesty's quiz. That I'll probably do that and put that out separately rather than on a Thursday or a Saturday. You know, a specialist quiz that I used to do. There's loads of them still on here, but I think I'll do that separately. But let's just get over these few days first, and let's see where we get to. All right, let's go straight then into your connections round, which is earlier than I normally do get to this point. But like I say, this was always going to come through. Going to come through quite quickly tonight. So connections round then, as always, 9 questions. Question number 10, what links them all together? Now, as I say, once I've locked everything in on Quiz Jockey, I can't then go in and change it, especially at a late stage where I was at today. This is a very, very tricky connection round. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Please don't worry about it tonight because it is very, very, it's not obvious. It really isn't. But let's get into it. So question number 1, what was in the corner of that picture as well. What is the name of this park for number 1? So what is the name of this park for number 1? Number 2, a place for helicopter. Am I on mute? No, I'm not. A place for helicopters to take off and land is called a what? So a place for helicopters to take off and land is called a what? Number 3, what is the name of the paper used to determine the pH level of liquid? So what is the name of the paper used to determine the pH level of liquid? Number 4, what is this style of hat called? So what is this style of hat called for number 4? Number 5, something that is not interesting or tedious is called what? I think under normal circumstances, and I think a lot of people may have put on quiz jockey and answers to this quiz potentially. But something that is not interesting or tedious is called what? Number 6, what is the study and practice of start again. What is the study and practice of making maps called? So what is the study and practice of making maps called? Number 7, a person who finds fault everywhere they look, no matter how small or unimportant, it's called a what? So a person who finds fault everywhere they look, no matter how small or unimportant, is called a what? Number 8, a figure of speech or self-contradicting word or group of words is called an what? So a figure of speech or self-contradicting word or group of words is called an what? Number 9, name the instrument from this picture. Oh, that was too quick. And finally, number 10, what links them all together? Okay, let's finish off then with 10 general knowledge questions, starting with this number 1. What was the name of the mountain that Moses was said to have received the 10 commandments? So what was the name of the mountain that Moses was said to have received the 10 commandments? Number 2, the Scottish Parliament building is commonly known by which name beginning with H? So the Scottish Parliament building is commonly known by which name beginning with H? Number 3, what market town in Nottinghamshire lends its name to Jane Austen's third novel? So what market town in Nottinghamshire lends its name to Jane Austen's third novel? Number 4, on an automatic gearbox, what does the letter P stand for? So on an automatic gearbox, what does the letter P stand for? Number 5, what is the correct name for the cooking style known as spit roasting? So what is the correct name for the cooking style known as spit roasting? Number 6, name the car brand pictured here. So name the car brand pictured here. Number 7, the best known east to west Berlin Wall. The best known east to west Berlin Wall crossing point was called checkpoint what? So the best known east to west Berlin Wall crossing point was called checkpoint what? Number 8, what is the medical procedure called for removing unwanted body fat? So what is the medical procedure called for removing unwanted body fat? Number 9, who wrote Watership Down? So who wrote Watership Down? And finally, number 10, an angle between 90 and 180 degrees is called what? So an angle between 90 and 180 degrees is called what? Okay, 7-minute timer then started. So in 7 minutes time, I'll go through the answers to this. to your last 20 questions. The only thing I will give you a little bit of a hint on the connections round, they're in order, if that helps. I've just put it in the Discord server as well. So they are in order, if that helps you with the connection round. Yeah, I know every quizmaster up and down the country is probably going to be currently trying to research the quiz round around Her Majesty, but I'm going to take a bit of time, and I'll have a look at it for next week, and I might try and get it uploaded for Wednesday. I'll see. You know, I want to make sure we do it right. I don't want to just cobble together some of the quick fire things that you can find. I want to do it right, so I'll try and put something together for next week for that, for a bit of a specialist quiz. I've not done a specialist quiz for a while, so that'll be. I think it's the right reason to put a specialist quiz on. Yeah, so just under 6 minutes, and I'll go through the answers to these. Like I say, I've come through a bit quicker, but I can't really say much tonight, to be honest. I said what I needed to say right at the beginning. So if you join us late, have a watch back later on. Really sort of explaining why the quiz is on, why I'm proceeding with the quiz tonight. And I was trying to be as upbeat. Oh, but yeah, the questions are up on up if you need them. If you need to review them, they should be up there now. Oh, it's Northampton Town's ground. Sorry. See, I didn't write them all down, and it was just whatever I thought was on top of my head. It wouldn't be me if I got the wrong football grounds the wrong way around. Sorry, Josh. And sorry to Joy as well. Yeah, Sixfield Stadium is, I'll correct myself, it's Northampton Town, not Rotherham's. At least you got the answer, though. That was the main thing. Yeah, sorry I've not been a little bit more upbeat, but yeah, kind of a bit tricky to be. But thank you. There's messages pouring in from all over the place, and I appreciate the bit. You know, everyone messaging saying, you know, thank you for doing tonight. I know I've said again, and I'll say it again about Saturday. Let's just get through the next couple of days, and I'll make a decision on Saturday. Saturday was due to be pre-recorded, and I had it in my diary to pre-record tomorrow, but I don't know at the moment if it sounds awful, but it does depend on whether I feel up to pre-recording it tomorrow, or whether I go live on Saturday night or what. I don't know, but we'll keep you posted on that. So yeah, about 3.5. Like I say, this is an insight. Normally you'd have just adverts over the top of me sat here just doing not a lot. I mean, I could jump onto the Zoom call with the quiz jockey graders if you want. Should we do that? Should we jump on and like bring them into? They're panicking now. They're sat there on their Zoom call thinking I'm about to jump in. But I jump in. You know, they're again, you know, those incredible girls. They asked the question. They asked me the question at about 10 to 7, was the quiz still going to go ahead? And I said, yeah. And I offered to them. I said, it's entirely up to them if, they give up their time for free to do the marking and stuff behind the scenes with quiz jockey. And I gave them the option. I said, it's up to you. If you don't feel right, if you don't feel up to it, please don't feel you have to. In the same way that we've been trying to say to everyone tonight, if you don't feel up to playing the quiz, you don't have to tonight. There are far bigger things in the world, but I wanted to be here for the community, and that's why I'm here. Sorry. Just over 2.5 minutes, and we will get you some answers. If you missed a clue, by the way, for the connections round, if you're still struggling, they're all in order. That's all I'm going to say on it. I mean, to be honest, I quite like the connection round tonight because it's quite clever. Probably a little bit too clever, but I do quite like the connection round, and that's, I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but if I'd have known what was coming today, I would have pulled it out of the quiz yesterday and put something different in. So yeah, I've got a couple of ideas for next week, but as you can probably imagine where I might go with it. Anyway, if you were watching if you're part of the long Guinness World Record attempt, you know what I'm about to do, but I'll be back with you before that timer reaches 2 minutes. I'll be back in a second. myself off mute. There we go. Right, minute and a half to go, and I'm going to go straight into the answers. I am way, like I said, way ahead of where I normally am, but I said didn't really feel up to talking about much. And I said we've got a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, but it's not appropriate to talk about them tonight. So we'll tell you those in the next couple of weeks about some of the things that are coming up. So yeah, about a minute to go, and then we'll give you the answers and close out tonight's quiz. I also want to make sure Beck's okay, because I've sent her a couple of messages on WhatsApp and they've not gone through. So Beck, if you are watching, I've sent you a couple of messages, they're not coming through. So I hope you're okay. 30 seconds and we'll go into the answers then for the final part of the quiz tonight. Ten seconds then, and then let's give you the answers to the final part of the quiz. If you're on Quiz Jockey, too late now. I should have given you a 20-second warning to lock your answers in, but too late now. So here we go then. Let's give you the answers then to the final part of the quiz this evening. So we started with connections round. There we go. So number one, what is the name of this park? That is Hyde Park. Number two, a place for helicopters to take off and land is called a what? It's called a helipad. Number three, what is the name of the paper used to determine the pH levels of liquid? It's litmus. Number four, what is the style of hat called? It's a beret, however you want to pronounce it. Number five, something that is not interesting or tedious is called boring. Number six, what is the study and practice of making maps called? It's cartography. Number seven, a person who finds fault everywhere they look, no matter how small or unimportant, is called a nitpicker. Number eight, a figure of speech or self-contradicting word or group of words is called an oxymoron. Number nine, name the instrument. That is a flute. And so your connection then, if you look back through your answers, and hopefully you've written down the right answers if you've not got them right, because the answer, what links them all, they're all chemical elements. And you're going to say, no, they're not, Jay, they're not chemical elements. The reason they're linked is because the first three letters of each of those answers, and that's why I said they're in order, the first three letters are the first three letters of all of the chemical elements. So your first one, hydrogen, second one, HEL, is helium. Number three would have been lithium, LiT. Number four, beret, so that would have been beryllium, I think. I'm trying to remember these off the top of my head. Number five, BOR, would have been boron. Number six, CAR, would have been carbon. Number seven, NiT, nitrogen. Number eight, OXY, is oxygen. And number nine, FLU, was fluoride. Like I said, it was a very clever connections round, but probably not right for tonight. To make you all think a bit more. So, but yeah, chemical elements was the connection. General knowledge then, number one, what was the name of the mountain that Moses was said to have received the Ten Commandments? It was Mount Sinai. Number two, the Scottish Parliament building is commonly known by which name beginning with H? It's Holyrood. Number three, what market town in Nottinghamshire lends its name to Jane Austen's third novel? It's Mansfield, Mansfield Park. Mansfield's you only need to put Mansfield. Number four, on an automatic gearbox, what does P stand for? It is Park. Number five, what is the correct name for the cooking style known as spit roasting? It is the rotisserie. Number 6, name the car brand. It's Jaguar. Number 7, the best known east to west Berlin Wall crossing point was called Checkpoint Charlie. Number 8, the medical procedure called for removing unwanted body fat is called liposuction. Number 9, who wrote Watership Down? It was Richard Adams. And number 10, an angle between 90 and 180 degrees is called obtuse. So it says there, review your scores, but as I said at the end of the first part of the quiz, scores don't really matter tonight. But if you are playing against people and you do want to find a winner, it's entirely up to you how you're doing tonight. Your tiebreaker question is this, and I found this quite intriguing and interesting when I found this out. But according to the official Thomas Edison website, I had to put that in because Wikipedia's got a completely different answer. But according to the official Thomas Edison website, how many patents did he take out in his lifetime? And this is worldwide as well. This isn't just in the US. So according to the official Thomas Edison website, how many patents did he take out in his lifetime? Okay, remember, nearest to it, if you're playing that way, gets the point. Nearest to it gets the point. Your answer is 2,332 patents that Thomas Edison took out in his lifetime. 2,332. My next mission is now to have a look at the 2,332 patents and try and work out how many of those he actually did anything with. So, oh, why is that on screen? Let me just turn that off. So that is the end. That is the end of tonight. Thank you very much for joining us, for being with us on what is an incredibly difficult day. Hopefully that has given you just a little bit of escapism for, like I said, it's finished a bit quicker than normal. So hopefully it's given you a little bit of an escape from, from what's going on. I'm not going to finish off with some long speech. All I'm just going to say, is quite simply, the world's a different place now. We've lost a figurehead and someone that a lot of us looked up to and admired. Before you go to bed tonight, hug your loved ones. If you haven't got anyone nearby, just send a message to friends, people you haven't spoken to for a while. Make sure everyone's all right. Check in. I'll see you soon. Take care and stay safe.